Am I the asshole for refusing to drive the neighbor's child home from school when he called me a F-slur? I am a 18-year-old in high school. I bought myself my first car this year and buy my own gas, but my parents let me put the car on their insurance instead of getting my own in exchange for a few chores, including driving my neighbor's child home from school occasionally when the parents are working late. Last Friday my parents asked me to pick the neighbor's boy Kyle up from school. He is a high school freshman, but he has skipped a grade, so he is younger than usual. Maybe better academically, but honestly he's immature even for his age. Also for context, I'm a lesbian and just a week ago I asked my crush to be my girlfriend and she said yes. Now another thing about me driving. I'm new and my parents have told me it's really important not to be distracted driving. If there is ever a distraction like my brother misbehaving, I should pull over and not drive again until I can drive without a distraction. They don't let me drive my friends yet or anyone but my brother and Kyle because they could be a distraction. So I was driving my brother and Kyle home last Friday and Kyle says, "I heard your AF slur," but he didn't censor himself. I had just pulled out of the school driveway and gone maybe 30 feet. I pulled over, parked the car in someone's driveway, and turned around and said, "Excuse me, what did you just say?" And he goes, "Are you AF slur?" And I go, "I have a girlfriend, but you can't be using that word. Ever, you hear me?" He said, "So you're AF slur then?" And I said, "Did your father or mother teach you that word?" He said, "No, everyone knows that what you are." I asked where he had learned that word. Was it at home? He said no, he wasn't a R word, he knows what it means. I said that if he spoke one more word I was kicking him out of the car. And that I was going to speak to his parents. He said, "What, you're gonna go tattle like a baby because I'm just stating the obvious? Everyone says it." I started the car again and drove back to the school. I parked there and told him to come with me to the office. He wouldn't, so I walked to the office alone and asked the guidance counselor for help. There was a freshman boy who wouldn't leave my car, was calling me slurs, and needed his parents to come pick him up or someone to help him find the correct bus. She went out and brought him to the office and I went home with my brother. I told my parents what had happened, but they apparently got a call from the neighbors first who'd been called at work by the school. They were furious I caused problems with the next-door neighbors, saying I should have just driven him home and they could have a talk with his parents. I said he was distracting me and they had told me I can't drive with distracting people in the car. And they said I was, twisting their words, "Am I the asshole for not taking the kid home?" Not the asshole. At least you went back to school and left the kid at a safe environment. That kid needed a lesson. Edit. What you did was merely a slap on his wrist. You know, had it happened a few years later or when he's an adult he could be held accountable for babbling his mouth without thinking much. But anyway, I hope he learned the lesson and stopped using that word. Jeez. Not the asshole as a fellow lesbian. If anyone used such offensive language against me in my own car, then I would not let them in my car ever again. And don't cover for him. Tell them straight he was using offensive homophobic words against you directly to your face, not distracting you. Not the asshole. Little fucker wants to treat his drivers like that, he can get another driver. Not the asshole, are you kidding me? You even gave that kid multiple chances to shut up and plainly stated what would happen. You got an adult involved to ensure his safety. You're amazing. What a fucker. If you are ever made to drive him and he pulls that shit again, take him away from his house and boot him out. I'm from UK, so don't know how old he is, but I'm a college student and if I was doing that I would get fucked up. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. I have to say the price you're paying to be on their insurance is too high. Nothing is worth being subjected to verbal abuse. Since your parents of giving this kid a pass and dumping it on you, I suggest you keep making a stink at the school. Not the asshole. You had every right to not drive him home even without your parents' rule about distracted driving. Not wanting to be called slurs in your own vehicle is an entirely reasonable boundary, and any inconvenience for that shitty kid and his parents is a consequence of their own actions. Not the asshole. You didn't leave him alone, you left him at school with staff. I get why your parents may have chosen to drop him off and talk to the parents about it, but I don't think what you did is wrong. You didn't set up the arrangement, so I understand why the neighbors are upset, because potentially all they've heard is that suddenly their kid doesn't have a ride home. Maybe your parents would have preferred you call them and give them the heads up, but they didn't say that. They aren't justified in being mad at you. Am I the asshole for asking that my daughter not share a room with a special needs kid? I, 35 female, have 4 kids, 10F, 6M, 4F and 1F. Our eldest, Izzy, is 10. She is a doll. My son, Luke, has autism and ADHD and while lovable, can be a bit of a handful at times. Therefore, Izzy is witness to both the fun and not-so-fun parts of neurodiversity and has developed saintly patience and a knack for helping special needs kids with a sense of maturity beyond her years. Particularly notable is her kindness with Maisie, a girl in her class with autism and severe anxiety, which has worsened as a result of the tumult of the last few years. Izzy's help to Maisie has been brought to my attention before and I am a super proud mama. Next weekend, school are taking my daughter's class on a trip, and on Thursday, Izzy's teacher asked her to be in a room with Maisie, saying it would make Maisie happy. Maisie has intense separation anxiety and has never been away from home before, but framing it as a choice. Always obedient and wanting to do good by her teachers, Izzy agreed but came home crying saying that she didn't want to be with Maisie, because she wanted a break from having to be stressed so others can be happy. This made my heart break, and I know more than anyone that my daughter deserves a chance to be a kid, as in all the lockdowns, she didn't have her usual outlets of sports clubs and had to spend a lot of time with a cranky Luke whose routine had been destroyed and a toddler who was very excited to have her big sis at home. While my husband and I always tried to do one-to-one activities, it admittedly got harder once his furlough ended and I unexpectedly got pregnant with our youngest. Luke also found the baby difficult sensory-wise, so whichever parent wasn't tending to the baby often had to be elsewhere with Luke, meaning not as much attention was on Izzy as we would have liked. I feel so bad that my daughter has had a rough ride, and frankly want to give her a chance to be a little girl instead of an adult. I contacted her teacher, who is aware of the situation with Luke, who agreed that letting Izzy have a break would be a good thing. Today the school spoke to Maisie's mum, informing her of Maisie's room on the trip. I know the girls in the room and they are lovely, but she was clearly unhappy. She asked me to ask Izzy again. When I said that it was her choice and I have to respect it, she sent a trade on how I was bringing Izzy up to be intolerant, how Maisie will feel that Izzy has abandoned her and how I would feel if it is my son. She is now considering pulling Maisie out of the trip as she feels she would not cope with her separation anxiety without Izzy. My husband thinks that it is the school and Maisie's mum's job, not Izzy's, to accommodate her, but her comments are ringing in my head. After all, I am not just Izzy's mum, but also Luke's, and as much as I worry about her missing out, I worry about him being isolated too. I know exactly how Maisie's mum feels, and how much it sucks, yet am not doing the one thing to alleviate her pain. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. I noticed you said. I know exactly how Maisie's mum feels, and how much it sucks, yet am not doing the one thing to alleviate her pain. The thing is, you wouldn't be the one doing the thing that would help Maisie. Izzy would, and she wants a break. Emo, you did the right thing. Your daughter is not an emotional support animal. She's a 10-year-old little girl who is having adult responsibilities dumped on her because it's easiest for everyone else. This practice needs to be stopped at school and at home. Not the asshole Maisie's mom is parentifying your child. Maybe her mom should go on the trip instead and put in some effort. Your daughter is not an emotional support animal or therapist, she has her own needs too. Not the asshole. Your daughter is not an emotional support animal. She is a child who deserves the chance to be a child. She wanted a break from having to be stressed so others can be happy. That breaks my heart. Maisie is the responsibility of her mother and the school, and Maisie's mother is wrong to try to put that burden on Izzy. If that means that Maisie doesn't go, that is a choice that her mother can make, but don't you dare let her blame Izzy. Advocate for your child. And you might want to take a look at how much you are relying on her at home, because that was a cry from the heart. Not the asshole. Your child is not Maisie's therapist, mother, teacher, etc. I find it ridiculous they want Izzy to play caretaker. If you don't put your daughter's wishes first, how will she learn she needs to put herself first sometimes? Not the asshole. Maisie shouldn't go if Maisie cannot handle the trip. And that is unfortunately how things end up being with people who are different. Sometimes your child gets dealt a hard hand and you either go on the trip to help or you pull your child. Not the asshole. Sounds like you're doing an amazing job raising kids. You can't sign a child up to be a carer. It's wonderful how much she already helps out, but if she feels that she's being forced into it, she'll start to resent it and grow away from it altogether. Maisie needs to learn these lessons, and can't depend on another child. For so many reasons this is dangerous and unhealthy. You need to protect your daughter, her kindness is being abused. Maisie's mother is being rather bold to assume it's your daughter's responsibility for her own daughter's happiness and comfort on a school trip. Hold firm. You're in the right, and that other lady is insane. Not the asshole. Am I the asshole for exposing my ex-husband for taking the gift I got for my son's 16th birthday? My F-36 ex-husband M37 divorced me after I got diagnosed with cancer. He made it all about him, then blamed me for our marriage failing. Got married to a 23-year-old woman who calls me by mocking nicknames. I try to have a good co-parenting relationship. I have a 16-year-old son who lives in both houses. His 16th birthday was days ago. I bought him a console and sent it to his dad's house in advance since I was out of town and couldn't attend the birthday celebration. 2 days later, one day before the birthday, my ex-husband called saying he opened the gift I got for our son, used it and broke it. I was in dismay when he told me, and I started arguing with him about paying for it to replace it, but he started pleading, saying he has no money, and asked that I either send another gift, didn't have to be a console, or just tell our son I didn't send him a gift. I told him no way I was going to lie to my son, but he kept begging, saying he'll pay me back once he's able. I ended the call with him, then immediately called my son to let him know what his father did to his birthday gift. A huge fight ensued and my ex-husband called me yelling, saying I not only ruined our son's birthday celebration but ruined his relationship with him over a stupid console that he was going to pay for, but I was being spiteful, trying to one-up him. My son went to stay at my place with my current husband and hasn't been speaking to his dad. His dad is blaming me because our son refused to stay and celebrate his birthday there after finding out what his dad did. My ex-husband's wife berated me in a long text talking about how I caused a scene and used my son as a tool to get back at his doff when I could have worked things out like a mature adult. She said she doesn't get me, and that there's something wrong with my personality. She even claimed she would be a better, more mature mom than me and never involve her kids in her fights with her partner. I was upset by her lecture and felt maybe I mishandled the situation and made a hasty decision. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. Your ex is a piece of work. First, he should never have opened the present, and second, how the fuck do you break a console that fast? I don't know what it was OFC, but like I have a Switch and an Xbone and they've both taken quite a few good knocks over the years with no issue. You sure he didn't just return or pawn it? Edit. After some more thought and discussion below, I 100% think he stole it. Whether he pawned, returned, or kept it for himself I don't know. But I just have trouble believing he just somehow broke a console beyond repair and binned it without discussion, and nobody else around. It's just way too suspicious. Not the asshole. What kind of a grown-ass man opens his kid's birthday gift, uses it and, just like magic, breaks it? I'm ready to bet he broke the gift on purpose because he didn't buy your son anything and didn't want to look like a loser. Of course for them it's okay for your son to believe that his mother didn't bother buying him a gift, but it's not okay for your son to know that his father is a selfish idiot. Not the asshole, and you need to tell the ex's new wife to sit down and STFU. You are co-parenting with the father. Not her. Not the asshole. Do you think your ex opened and broke it? How TF did he break it anyway? That is suspicious. Or do you think the wife did? It's quite rich of them to call you immature when they not only stole and broke your son's gift from you, but asked you to lie about it. You absolutely did the right thing in telling him. In future, I would suggest not sending gifts to him at his dad's, even if it means he has to wait a few days or a week. They've shown you they can't be trusted. Not the asshole. I am betting this is not the first time he has pulled something like this. He says he broke it and then threw it away. Yeah, no. That didn't happen. It is either A, in a closet to be used when son isn't there. B, was sold. C, wife's younger sibling has a shiny new console. Not the asshole, and I'd be taking him to small claims court for the cost of the console. Not the asshole. Sorry your broke ex sold your son's birthday gift. Now you know not to send anything that can be used for quick cash. He and his blowhard wife make quite the team with their telltales and deflection. Wish you could file a police report, but they'd probably write this off as a domestic dispute. Might ask, just to be sure. You do realize that your ex's inability to produce the broken gift means that it was never broken, yes? You understand he just took it and sold it and pocketed the proceeds? Edit. Oh, and no, you absolutely don't need to cover for this asshole by telling your 16-year-old son that you just didn't get him a birthday present. Your kid is old enough to know who he's dealing with. Listen, mature adults, don't give derogatory nicknames to a parent of their stepchild. Tell someone something is wrong with their personality just because they disagree. Claim to better mother because a person who was rightfully upset that her ex opened a present that wasn't his and broke it. Bonus points for X asking you to cover up his idiocy. This is not a mature adult. This was not a rational discussion. You have every right to be upset. Do not let either one of these people fool you into thinking you overreacted. Your son did not overreact either. Not the asshole. Edited. A word. Am I the asshole? For implying that my boyfriend is cheap because of the V-Day gift he got me? 31 have been with my boyfriend M. 37, who's a single dad with 2 boys, for 2 years. He has a decent job with decent income and is into woodworking as a hobby. For V-Days, B-Days and every other celebration, he'd gift me mostly jewelry and I get him his favorite gadgets or sports gear. For this Valentine the first got him sneakers. I found out today that his gift for me was a wooden framed photo of him, me, and the kids. I gotta say I wasn't thrilled with it. When I told my boyfriend my honest opinion, I didn't want to open my mouth but he pushed me. He said he couldn't believe this was my reaction. BJT. I pointed out that he has money to for an $200 necklace at least so I could wear it at the engagement party. But he said I was out of line to imply he was being cheap when all he was doing was to make me a special gift and also had the kids help with it and put so much thought and effort in it because they see me as family and I should be appreciative of that. I said I was but still thought he could have added the necklace as a great combo, but he got even more mad saying he couldn't understand why I'd value a necklace as much as or even over a special gift he and the kids made for me. We went back and forth on this and breakfast got ruined. He went upstairs. AMD refused to speak to me. I feel like he blew this out of proportion since he asked for my opinion and I don't know if he has the right to be upset with me now. Am I the asshole? For V-Days, B-Days and every other celebration, he'd gift me mostly jewelry. So you don't have enough jewelry yet? How many necks do you have? Yeah, he has more than a right to be upset with you. Wear an old necklace and appreciate what you have with this man and his kids. You are the asshole. Edit. Very pleasing how much joy this comment and you, Arcantimaval's giraffe bring. Thanks y'all. You are the asshole. I'm assuming he made the frame, which takes a lot of time and effort. Every minute of the project he would be thinking of you. Then he found a photo of him and his kids and you. He is literally presenting you with an image of you as part of his family and you're complaining as it's not worth a lot. Do you know the min value of the wood? Then add that to his time. Entitled much? You are the asshole. His gift is awesome and amazing. The fact that you're upset because of the dollar value is sad. There are things in life that are more important than money. Those 3 people in that picture and who made that frame are more valuable than a necklace. I didn't even finish reading after money for a $200 necklace. You are the asshole, no question about it. He chose to give you a sentimental gift and you shit all over it. You are the asshole. That's a pretty thoughtful gift that represents his fondness of you in his family situation. Your transactional expectations of money value speaks volumes here. Especially if he made the frame himself, which seems like since you mentioned woodworking. All the more because you doubled down and ruined V-Day breakfast for everyone. His leaving is de-escalating your argument that you have clearly not backed down from. He doesn't deserve this and you do not deserve him. You are the asshole. And a borderline gold digger at that. To value or want jewelry over such a heartwarming gift. He needs a new GF. YTA. It's weird to always expect high-value gifts, especially on Valentine's Day. Not a great way to take a gift symbolically adding you to the family. Wear the first necklace he ever gave you to the party. Literally can't imagine wanting new jewelry every year. How boring. You are the asshole and I hope he dumps your materialistic ass. Oh, and then asks for all the shit he has bought you back. 'Cause I'm petty like that. Unamused tears of joy.